Okay, our objective today is to finish up graphing on the coordinate plane and go over our chapter 1 review. So I want to start today, since you guys had a chance to check your homework this morning. What questions do you have on the homework on numbers 1 through 24? So as always, if you missed something, if you don't understand it, please ask. These are all types of questions you could see in your chapter 1 test Friday. So keep that in mind as we're going over this. Emma M, what number? 7 and 8. Okay, let me just talk through this for a second. So number 7, because it's easier for me to explain this by talking, you have to evaluate n cubed, bless you. So for number 7, you should have put into your calculator or done by hand 26 cubed. So for number 7, you should have done 26 times 26 times 26. Did you do that? Okay, so the first part of it, you get 17,576. And then the second part of number 7 says plug in 3.5 for n. So 3.5 times 3.5 times 3.5, or 3.5 cubed, and gives you 42.875. Okay. Okay. So maybe, did you do it by hand or did you type it in your calculator? Okay. What I would do, since we didn't get to the chapter yet where we multiply and divide by hand, use your calculator, because on the test on Friday, you will not be responsible for multiplying or dividing decimals, because I didn't actually teach it yet. Even if you guys know how to do it, use your calculator for that part. The only thing I don't want you to use your calculator for are the adding and subtracting integers and multiplying and dividing integers. Okay? Are you okay now? You okay, Emma? If you want to get your calculator, they're over there if you want to try, or if you have yours. Okay, Doug, what number? Okay, so same thing I just told Emma M. Did you hear what I told her? Okay, just put 3.5 to the 4th power in your calculator. Thanks, Kevin. That was very fast. Okay, did you hear what I just told Emma? Same thing. Okay. Okay, well then you answered your own question then. Okay, Annalise? Okay, number 5, all you need to do here is write an expression that says the total amount in cents of nickels and dimes. So we're just trying to find how much total change we have. So we don't know how many nickels we have. We don't know how many dimes we have, but we do know a nickel is 5 cents, a dime is 10 cents. So you could have represented the change as 0.05 or 5, and then the dime as 0.10 or 10. It doesn't matter, depending on how you're talking about cents and how you're writing it. This, Annalise, just tells you this is the expression to figure out how much change we have. Maybe I have 5 nickels and I have 1 dime. How much change do I have? Maybe you have 8 nickels and you have 2 dimes. This is kind of like a little formula for us to figure out how much money we have if all we have is a nickel or some nickels and dimes. So I think you're getting confused because you're thinking it should be just an answer. It's an expression that helps us to figure out how much money we have. Does that make a little bit more sense? The quarter one, we need to find the total amount of quarters, of dollars of Q quarters. I said that wrong. So you could have, for number 6, 25Q, or you could have 25Q over 100 with the 100 representing a dollar. Now, if you don't like writing it that way, you could also write it as 0.25Q over 1.00. It's the exact same thing. So no, nope, that does not mean that. You're trying to find the total amount of dollars of Q quarters. That's all you're trying to find. So the Q is the amount of quarters. The 25 is not the amount of quarters. The 25 represents that a quarter is 25 cents. There's not 25 quarters in a dollar. That just, remember I told you earlier that just represents the same thing as the nickels and the dimes, how many cents they're worth. Yeah, yep, because it asks you in dollars. So keep it in dollars. So yeah, you can use this, you could use this, or you could use this. Okay? Does that help a little bit? Okay, if not, we'll talk more tomorrow or later today. Emma M? Number 3? Go ahead. Okay. Okay, let me start with number 9 first. Oops. Okay, you have your work in front of you, right? Okay, number 9 is 9 plus 5, and then 20 minus 8 plus 6. Okay, Emma, what do you think the first thing is that we need to do on this problem? Good. So what is 8 plus 6? Good. Okay, what's the second thing we need to do? Good, which is? Okay, what's the next thing we need to do? OOO tells us you have multiplication and you have addition. What do you do first? Got it? That is a tricky one because of this little guy right next to that bracket. They're trying to trick you. I got these problems from the book. They're trying to trick you. Don't let them trick you. Okay, what other number? 14. Donatus, do you have a question on this one? Okay, hold on. Anyone else on number 9? I'll come back to you, Donatus. Okay, 14. If you missed the ones I'm going over, please check. If you have a question on something I'm going over, please ask so that we don't have to go back to it. All right, 14, we have to plug in and evaluate. So x is 2.5, t is 1.25, and then the r is 16. All right, Emma, first thing we need to do is subtract what's inside parentheses. So we get 1.25 after we subtract. Square 1.25, okay? 1.5625. Rewrite your plus 16. Sorry, I'm going fast. Now what? Multiply or add? Multiply. So multiply the 2 times 1.5625, which I don't think I put on my paper, but I think it's 3.125. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I think that's right. After you multiply, add, and you get 19.125. Do you know what you did wrong? You don't? Oh, yeah, don't do that. Okay. Multiply, divide from left to right, and then add, subtract from left to right. 33. Okay, wait till I get to that page. We didn't get to that page yet. Anything else on 1 through 20, whatever the answers were? 1 through 24. Donatus? Say that again? Yes, yeah. 0.25q is perfectly fine. Anyone else on 1 through 24? Okay, here are the second page of answers. So 25 through 39. Emma, what number did you say? 30? 33, okay. Okay, let me leave that up there for a second, then I'll write 33 up there. Charles, did you check any of that page or not yet? Okay, that's fine, go ahead. Emma, I'm gonna go over to the board here for a second. Okay, so 33, we have negative n. Now here's where I think you probably messed up. Negative n, so the n is already negative, and so is the 8. So negative 8. Yeah, did you do that already? Okay, divided by negative p, so negative 4, because the p is negative, but so is the 4, all right? Divided by negative p again, okay? Negative 4. I don't know why they have 2 negative p's there. So let's simplify first. So we have positive 8 divided by positive 4 divided by positive 4. All right, what's 8 divided by 4? Good. Drop down your divided by 4. What's 2 divided by 4? Okay, that's a common mistake. So that's how you get 0.5 or 1/2. Always divide from left to right. What I do when I solve this, I think of this as a fraction. 2/4 is 1/2. I know you know that, but try to think of it like that. Anyone else on that back 25 through 39? Annalise. Okay, so let me start with, Charles, are you okay if I move this? Okay, making sure. Okay, on 39, Annalise, before we find mean, median, mode, range, what kind of order should you put the numbers in? Numerical order. So what's the lowest number? Lower than -1. See all the numbers? Okay, that's probably why, but let me do it real quick anyways. So -2, -2, -1, -1, -1. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. 3, 5, 6, 6, 7. Okay, I'm trying to write and look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's an order from least to greatest. To find the range, you're taking the largest minus the smallest. So your range is 7 minus -2. 7 minus -2 is 7 plus 2, which is 9. The range from the smallest number to the largest number is 9. So Annalise, do you understand how I got the range? Okay, you sure? The median, take the middle two most numbers, add them, divide by 2. -1 plus 3 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay? Okay, any other questions on the second half of that, Charles? Say it again, the mean you got wrong? Okay, did you add them all up and then divide by 10? Okay, so let's do it. That's what you're supposed to do, yes. So Charles, what's -2 plus -2? Oh, is that why? There's 2 -2s. That's why. So do me a favor, check it one more time, Charles. If you don't get it, I'll go over it with you. Okay? Anyone else? Annalise? They just wanted you to explain what they were. So like the range is the difference of the largest and smallest. Yeah, but I wouldn't take off. On a test, if you didn't write that, I would take off. Okay? Emma M? No, you only had to go up to 39 because I didn't finish teaching you 40, 41, 42 yet. I told you guys yesterday just to go up to 39, right? Okay. Unless I'm going crazy. Adam? No. Sorry, you have more than 3 problems. Mary? I do too. It's kind of nice. Well, I actually could make a test like that, but I already made your test for Friday, and I did not do that. Do you guys all like that? Having the answer thing on the side? Okay, I can start to do that. I'll just reformat my tests. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. And then, but whenever you guys did your work, you were okay doing it on loose leaf and then transferring your answer over here? Okay, cool. It's good to know. Charles? Okay. Yep. And you know what? That Annalise did the same, kind of a similar thing. She forgot about that other -2 when she put them in order. So it's easy to forget something. That's why when you put them in order, I recommend crossing them off as you're putting them in order and then recounting. Like I had Emma M, she was checking me as I was writing them. Then I recounted to make sure I had 10 numbers up there. Just double check so you don't make a silly mistake. Because we all do it. That's easy to make. Annalise? Okay. Well, that happens too. It's, especially when you're doing homework, you're doing it quickly. Okay. All right. Anyone else on homework? All right. So overall, give me a thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down. That was your part of your chapter 1 review. What did you think? Thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go back to our notes. We get to play Billy the Bug coordinate game today. So I need you to open up your notes, page 24, please. While you're opening up your notes, can someone tell me one thing you remember from yesterday about the coordinate plane? What's one thing you remember, Mary, of the coordinate plane? Good. 4 quadrants, it makes a C. What else, Justin? Good. The very middle is 0. It's called the origin. Briar, what else? Good. Each one has a different set of numbers. Perfect. Sean? Awesome. You always go left or right before going up or down. Charles? Good. The quadrants are labeled in Roman numerals and they make a C. Perfect. Annalise, what else? Good. There's an X and a Y axis. Emma M? Good. They have to have X and Y coordinates. Man, you guys are awesome. Justin? Awesome. X always comes before Y. You could think of that as X comes first in the alphabet, Y comes second. Mary? Scattered everywhere. I like that. Yep. Scattered plot is all your data, and it's scattered everywhere. Like some of the floors in your bedroom. I'm sure there's stuff everywhere in some of your rooms. Whose room is like that? Stuff is scattered. Whose maybe kind of. Okay. All right. It's okay if it's okay to admit to it. It happens, right? Sean? I like that example. You're right. When the bell rings, there's just students scattered everywhere in the hallway, going every direction. They're not going in a pattern. They're kind of being irrational too, because they're kind of jumping all over the place. Yeah, they're pie. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Oh, that's neat to see how much it's worth. They were probably appraising it or assessing it. Cool. All right, so on our notes, page 24, do you guys see that second graph? It looks just like mine, besides the letter E, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, in your homework for tonight, it looks just like this. You need to identify what the ordered pair is, as well as the location. So A, Matt, what is the ordered pair for A? 0000. Hold on. So put 00 first, and then what I want you to do is make a little chart like I'm doing right now. So the left-hand side is the ordered pair. The right-hand side is the location. How do you describe the location of that? How do we describe the location, Charles? Origin. So location of that is origin. Okay, letter B. What is the ordered pair? What is the location? Annalise, what's the ordered pair? Good. You're good. 3, 3. Sean, what's the location? Good. Positive, positive. Awesome. Quadrant 1. So I'm just going to abbreviate quad 1. You can just write the 1. Yep. So the location in regards to these ones is going to be, what's the quadrant? B, we went to the right 3 and then up 3. That's why they're both positive. We went to the right 3 and then up 3. That's why they're both positive. Mary, question or next one? Go for it. Letter C. Good. Letter C is 3, -3. Briar, what quadrant is letter C in? Good. Quadrant 4. Make sure you're writing them as Roman numerals. C, we went to the right 3. Did I write it wrong? Why did I do that? I'm sorry. I have no clue why I wrote that. So sorry. I'm not sure what I was doing. Okay. So C, we went to the right 3. We went down 3. When you go to the right, it's positive. Down is negative. Location is quadrant 4. Do you guys have questions, or you do want to do the next one? Good, Emma. Good. IV. You don't have to. I always connect them. I'm not quite sure, but I always connect them. I don't know. I always make them like this and put a little hat on it. As long as you have an I and a V, I don't care. And I'm not sure. I probably should look up the exact way to do that. No one has ever asked me that before in this class. That's a good question. Does anyone? You did. That's right. Yesterday you did. You're right. Anyone else have a question before Mary's question? I think I was. Not quite sure what I was doing. Yeah, you're probably right. Annalise, question? Okay. All right. Letter D, Doug. What is the ordered pair of letter D? Good. -3, 1. Donatus, what's the location of letter D? Good. Quadrant 2. Charles, question? Another way to write it? It could be. You know where it is. Yeah. So what you're saying is you could kind of zoom in and focus on one quadrant at a time, ignore the negatives. If you know what quadrant it is, it's easy to plot. Yes. Yeah, that is another option. I have never seen it like that, but that is another option. Yeah, good thinking. Jeremy, question? Yes. So I need everyone to put letter E right where minus. Annalise, do you have a question? You always go left or right first, and then up or down second. Okay, everyone draw a point and plot letter E. This one's a little tricky. Matt, what do you think? Okay, now he's right about that. No one yell this out now. So letter E is go to the left first and then up or down second. It's at -3, 0. What's the location? And don't tell me two things, tell me one thing. So don't tell me between blah and blah, or whatever word you said yesterday. No? Alyssa, do you have an idea of where it's located? Not sure? Emma H., you have an idea? You gotta be more specific. That could mean it's on this line right here, which is wrong. Could mean any line. No? Not sure? Zach? Awesome. X-axis. You are allowed to have an ordered pair on an axis, okay? It could be on the y-axis. It could be on the x-axis. Yeah, and eventually in calculus too, on the z-axis. Sean? Yeah, don't do that. That's why I said don't say between quadrants and don't make a quadrant a half. You can't do that. Adam. You're going to learn about that in calculus too. Mary. Not quite sure, actually. I will look that up. I don't know. Donatus, do you know? Oh, do you? Okay, so you put a comma. There's our answer. I didn't know that. I've never really had to write a Roman numeral that's half. I wonder why I haven't ever had to do that. But yeah, comma. Yeah, I don't know. Annalise, question? I do not know. You won't have to do it in this class, so we're not worried about it. All right. Okay, guys, listen. Getting too loud. Emma M, go ahead. Yep. Yep. Above the x-axis. Good memory. You're exactly right. All right, Briar, I need you to come up, and I need you to pick one of those points up there and drag it to the location of A. So I need you to pick one of those points up there, put your finger on it, and drag it to where A is. At your seat, you should be plotting A on the graph on your seat. So, good. Briar went over 3, up 4. Briar, hold on. Get a marker and label it A, please. The smart markers. So you guys are on page 25, is at the very top. You're labeling as we are labeling. Make it one point of contact. There you go. Okay, Emma H., I need you to come up, pick one of the points, and move it to where B is. Everyone at your seat, go ahead and do it before they actually do it so we can check them. So pick any one of those points and drag it to where B is. Oh. Okay, there you go.
That was wrong.
Okay, go ahead. Your hands are either hot or cold.
Why is this one hating me?
Okay, tell me where it goes. I'll help you. Show me, point to where it goes. Good job. Okay, take the marker, write B on there. To the left 2, up 1. The 2 is negative, the 1 is positive. Charles, come on up. Take one of the points, move it to where C should be. Please. Maybe you guys are just, you know what, Emma? Maybe you were pressing too hard. Don't press so hard. I don't know. I'm trying to figure. Okay, maybe you weren't pressing hard enough. I don't know. Keep going, Charles. There you go. Okay, now label that point C, please. Charles went to the right 4, down 5, and he is labeling C. Perfect job. Charles, you okay up there? There you go. Okay, Justin, I want you to go pick one of the points up there and move it to where letter D should be. Make sure at your seat you are labeling and making sure you are correct and they are correct. Okay, Justin is taking letter D. He is moving to the x-axis at 3. Why did Justin not go up or down? Alyssa, why did he not go up or down?
0.
Good, it's 0. What would the location of letter D be? Sean, what's the location? What's the location? Good. The location of that would be x-axis. Okay, Donatus, go ahead and pick a point and put it where E should be. Be careful. Not yet. Pick a point, move it to where E should be. Okay, why is he only going up? Mary, why is he only going up? Good. Over 0, up 5. Can you reach that? Put it below the smiley face if you can't reach it. You're good. Good enough. Okay, Sean, go ahead and pick a point and label where letter F should go. It's okay. Hey, Sean, what is that called? Good, the origin. So go ahead and label that with letter F. 1 point of contact. Don't put your arm on the smartboard. That's okay. I'm not worried about it, but remember, just there you go. It's hard to get used to it. I'm used to it. I use it every day. Thank you, Sean. Okay, Jeremy, last one. Go ahead and take the star. We're going to play another game, so I'll get the rest of you. Jeremy, go ahead and take the star, move it to where G should be. Letter G. -1, -2. Always go left or right first, up or down second. Good. Perfect. Left 1, down 2. Jeremy, label it, please, using one of the markers. What'd you say? Yeah, that's good. Great job, Jeremy. A nice G. That kind of is an interesting G. Is that a G? Okay. I know, but it kind of looks like an F. I'll get it. I'll get it. Okay, hold on. Don't worry. We'll get the star back. Don't worry. The star is here. The star likes us. Jeremy's holding his arm. He's intense here. Okay, that looks nice. All right, great job. Adam, do you have a question? Yeah. Yes. No, nothing would happen. No. All right. Okay, let's take a look at a word problem, which is kind of like a scatter plot. And then I want to play a small little game with you before the end of class. Okay, so here's what it says. It says scatter plot. Now, this is not a completely scattered plot, but it does represent a scatter plot. So it says the number of, I should say hours, the number of hours you spent studying for 5 different math tests and the score you earned on each test is given in the table below. Make a scatter plot of the data and describe the relationship you see. So the important part here is we need to describe the relationship. You need to label this. Anytime you have a scatter plot or a graph, we need to label the axes. The X is hours. The Y are the test scores. So I need you guys to label hours along the X-axis, test scores along the Y-axis. Why does the graph look like this? Why does it not look like there's 4 quadrants? That's something very important that you should think about. Why does it look like this? Briar, why does it look like this? Correct. Okay, good. That's what I wanted you to say. You don't need the negatives. Can you study -4 hours for a test? I hope not. Can you earn a negative 10% on a test? I hope not. I'm sure it's a possibility, but especially in this class, I hope not, or you're not in the right class. Okay, so we now need to label and put numbers on our graph. Now, if the test score, the lowest one is a 55, what's something good that we can do to the y-axis? And I know you've learned it before because last year and the year before and the year before, they always remember this. Matt, what can we do? How can we do that, and what do we use to, what's the notation for that? Do you remember the notation for it? Because you're right. Adam, do you remember?
I think it's called a break.
Yep, it's called a break in the graph. It looks kind of like that. I'm not the best person to draw, but there's a break in the graph. If you draw a break in the graph, you are allowed to start wherever you want. So let's start with 55, and let's go up by 5s. And you don't have to agree with me. You can label yours however you want, whether you count by 10s or 5s, as long as you fit all the scores on here. What should we label the x-axis as, or how should we label the x-axis? Justin, what do you think? Say that again. Yes, so what should we start with? 1. Good. I would just go up in increments of 1.
Yeah.
Then it shows it nicer. Okay, so let's make our scatter plot. Now, FYI, we can also make a scatter plot on a calculator. It's pretty cool. If we have time this year, I'm going to show you. It's a long process, but it's possible. Yeah. Okay, so let's plot 155. So if you study 1 hour, you earn 55%. Over 1, up 55. If you study 2 hours, you earn a 78%. So over 2, up 78. If you study 3 hours, you earn an 86%. Over 3, up 86. If you study 4 hours, you earn an 89%. If you study 5 hours, you earn a 98%. Okay, shh, no yelling out, guys. Don't forget that. Okay, so here's our scatter plot. Now, it's not completely scattered. What I want you to think about is, what is the relationship of data? What is the relationship here? Charles, what's the relationship? Good job. The longer you study, the higher the score. Now, is that going to work for every single person? No. This is just a relationship. Doesn't mean it's going to work for every single person and for every single test you take. Okay, everyone's different. But according to this data, there's a positive correlation, which means there's a positive relationship between the amount of hours you study and what you earn on a test score, which is why it's going up from left to right. Mary? Yes, you may. Okay, any questions on that? Jeremy? Yeah, I know. I agree with you on that. We will not get 55%. Annalise? It could be, but since it's a scatter plot, you don't connect the dots. Never connect the dots on a scatter plot. Does that make sense, Annalise? Okay. It kind of could look like it. Okay, on the side, bottom of your notes, wherever you have room, I want you to write down y equals 2x minus 1. On the side or bottom of your notes, I want you to write down y equals 2x minus 1. And you don't need to write the instructions, but on your homework there's some problems like this. It makes you think. It says evaluate the variable expression, whoops, it should say evaluate the equation. Not expression, because it's an equation. Anyways, evaluate the variable equation, or just the equation, if you're given the x values are 0, 1, 2, 3. So make a little table, the bottom side of your notes, wherever you have room. Donatus, you with me? Okay, yeah, you are. Make a little table. Doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it's kind of close to mine. All right, how do we do this? So we have an equation. We have some x values. How do we find the y values? You okay? Okay. No. How do we do this, Emma? Good job. So if x is 0, here's how we find y. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Plug 1 in for x. What's 2 times 1 minus 1? Annalise. Good. Plug 2 in. What's 2 times 2 minus 1? Justin. Good. Plug 3 in. What's 2 times 3 minus 1? Matt. Good. That's all you do. Now, this is something that we will see when we get to chapter 8. You will know how to graph something like this by hand if you don't already know how to. Charles? Go ahead. Yep. And I'm going to also show, and that's what you noticed, there's something called the function man that I will also show you this year that helps you to figure out patterns. So yes, he's called the function man. His arms look like this. I can't really do it. But his arms look like this, and he's a smartboard man, so he's not real. He's just alive on the smartboard. Mary? Mm-hmm. That's why the equation is 2 times the x value minus 1, because exactly what you guys are saying. This is not for anything of application yet. All I need you to know now is how to plug a value in and find the y, like how to plug an x value in and to find the y value. This is not for application until we get to chapter 8. Do you know what I mean? So right now I just need to know you to know how to evaluate an equation. That's it. Chapter 1 is just the basic building blocks of the book. Annalise? Okay. Doug, you have a question? No, it's not your homework. Okay, I have to save this one more time. I wanted to play this, but I don't want to rush it. Open up your homework packet to 1.8. So I have 2 things for you to do. So open up your homework packet to 1.8. I'm going to explain it. Okay, so homework packet, practice 1.8, and if I could find it, page 22 in your homework packet. This is a fun homework. So you're going to do 1.8 first. Second thing you're going to do looks like this. This is for practice of plotting points. So here's the instructions. You need to find what marsupial is called the old man in Australia. Directions. The graph has positive and negative coordinates. It's made up of 5 lines. The bracket symbol denotes the beginning of a line, and the end bracket symbol represents the end of a line. Graph the coordinates in the given order. Connect them as you go. So I'll say that again. Yep. Plot the points on this page, Sean, page 22. Plot the points in the order that they're given. You're connecting them as you go. I'd like you to color it if you have time. And if you do, I'm going to hang them up. So color them if you have time. I'm going to hang them up behind you guys on the cabinets. Okay? If you have time, color them. Okay, I'm going to hang them up. It's interesting. It also gives you a chance to practice connecting and plotting ordered pairs. Have you guys ever done anything like this? Okay. I have another one I'm going to give you tomorrow that I'll show you. That one's pretty cool. Charles, have you seen these before? Oh, yeah. It's kind of similar. Annalise, do you have a question? It'll make everything. Yep. And if you have to follow the directions exactly as it says on there, or else it won't turn out the way it should. Okay, Sean.
Wait, so you that, like, the stuff in the brackets and then end it at
Start and then start again.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, and listen, what I just explained is on here. So just read the directions again if you're not sure. It's all on there. Annalise. Yep, you have to connect them all, or else you won't know what it is. Kate, Jeremy, hold on one second. Turn back to practice 1.8. Homework. Kate, in practice 1.8, you're going to do the whole thing. I just want to say, make sure you're reading the directions. There is one scatter plot that you need to plot points on, but they already have it labeled and scaled for you. Okay? So you have 2 assignments. Tomorrow we're going to review for your test. Okay, any other questions on your 2 assignments? So back in front of 1.8, and then your picture graph, connect the dots. If you have time, color it. I'm going to hang it up if you guys color them. Jeremy.
First, I know what it is.
Okay, but don't say that. Okay. That's all you're going to say. Okay. All right. Donatus. Do what on your calculator? No.